You learned color grading, but your videos still suck. Why? It's not your note trees. It's not your LUTs. It's your vision. I'm Giuseppe. I started off as a broke videographer hustling music videos for $50 in 2019. When I started shooting music videos, I barely had a laptop that turned on. But today I can say that I'm a remote colorist and I grade for clients all over. And I'm talking music videos, commercial project, narrative films, you name it, I got it. Basically the story is this. I was young, didn't have a job, still went to high school, and I needed to get music videos done for me because I used to make music. I didn't have money to pay for them and my parents couldn't afford to pay for them. So I basically grabbed this old DSLR that my dad had lying around the house, grabbed a couple of friends, asked them if they wanted to help me shoot my own music videos, and we rolled with it. And don't imagine anything too fancy, man. I'm telling you, like, they were total trash. They completely sucked. I'm not some genius, some talented kid that just started like that. No, they were really horrible. I didn't know anything about camera, shutter angle, ISO, all that stuff. I didn't know anything about it. I just wanted to get some promotional material for my music. Basically what happened, a couple time passes, I shot like 3 or 4 videos for myself. And I had this friend that also made music. He asked me to film his video for $50. To which I said, okay, yeah, sure, I'm gonna do it. I shot his video, then word of mouth started spreading. I eventually realized that, hey, this thing can actually put money on the table. And I'm actually having fun shooting videos, and it's different from music because music at that point was just like a waste of my time. So I was like, hey, I'm going to pursue this and see what I can make out of it. So I basically got all that I had made up until that point, reinvested that, and I got myself a proper mirrorless camera. It was still like low budget. It was an APS-C Sony Alpha 6400. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about because it was a really popular camera. But I got a gimbal, a new computer, all that stuff basically to properly work. So it was around that time that I really started to ask myself, what is this thing with color grading? Because I suddenly had a camera that could shoot log. Believe it or not, even though the A6400 doesn't shoot 10-bit, it could still shoot log, S-Log3. And I was like, whoa, I want to get into that. So I looked up YouTube tutorials and they were so confusing, man. I'm telling you. Like, I could not understand shit about color grading. Because you had, like, if you look this up in 2020, you still had, like, photographers telling you about where skin tones should sit, when you grade it in Premiere Pro and all these things. DaVinci wasn't really widespread like it is today. And you had all these YouTubers that were just spreading false myths about what real color grading is about and how it should be done. So yeah, I get it. I mean, I was exactly you. I know for a fact what you're going through. So let's cut the bullshit and talk about the real thing. So the real thing is this. Most YouTubers are teaching you how to be a preset pirate. They just tell you how to slap on a LUT on your footage. I bet you've seen this advice. They get you to slap a LUT on your footage. They tell you to mess with contrast. You push the shadows down, highlights up until you hit your little scope in the corner, and then they tell you that it's fine. Then they push blue in the shadows and they warm the highlights. Is that right? Is that what most YouTubers are doing right now? Maybe they add a little glow just to make the image a little less sad and act like they're doing something meaningful with their time. Is that what you've been told? Am I right? Don't lie to me. Don't lie to yourself, man. Is that what you call color grading? Man, shut up, man. Shut up. Hold up. I'm gonna tell you I'll tell you how it works, man. Okay, listen. Real color kings, they know where they're taking the image before they even hit a knob. Okay? They know where they want to take things. They already see it in their mind. Before you work on something, you already have a vision. You know, how do I want people to feel when they look at this? Like, look at this scene, for example. There's a reason why the colors and the contrast is the way it is in this setting where I'm recording now. This room, the light in this room, doesn't look like what you're seeing. This is worked on. The thing you're watching this through is color graded, I'm telling you. And it looks the way it does because it needs to feel this natural, a little cozy, not too cold. It needs to give off that feeling, okay? It's not just max out your contrast, hit your scope's limit, and call it a day. It's not that. Real color kings, they know where they want to take their image before they even start. You know, nobody fucking talks about this because nobody knows how to grade. Most people that teach on YouTube, either they're not good colorists or they're not colorists at all. They just act like they are. Or maybe they do something else and I can't really blame them. If they're not colorists, they don't know about this stuff. But I'm gonna tell you how it works. Before you grade anything, you need to ask yourself, what emotion, what sensation am I looking to convey? That's how you get good. It's not just about tinting the shadows. It's not just about aesthetic. Okay, of course, yeah, we want images to look good. Okay, I completely get that. But that's not all that you should be focusing on. I mean, you learned that gain targets the highlights and gamma kind of the midtones and lift the shadows. You learned that. you learn that if you touch the color wheel, push magenta in gain, you're gonna see more magenta in the highlights. You know that. Technical skill alone doesn't make you a colorist, doesn't make you good at color grading. I'm not even talking about being a colorist, man. I'm talking about being good at grading your own footage, man. That's embarrassing. Okay, and nobody's teaching you this because nobody knows about it. Nobody in the YouTube space actually knows about it, because it's way more simpler to just make you believe that you can just slap on a LUT and call it a day than actually teach you what makes you good at grading. Bro, understand, I've lost so many clients. I remember there was this time I was grading. I'm not gonna say which project it was because it's gonna be too embarrassing, but I'll say this. I've lost this big client because up until that point, all that I was taught that was grading was just push the knobs in a certain direction. And in my mind, I kind of thought that it could work for everything. I thought this is like, they teach you what makes an image look good. Bro, I fucking swear, go look at some tutorial. It's cool shadows, warm highlights. Go look at anything you want. And there's a reason why people do that. I do it in one of my videos too, but I'm gonna do like another video explaining why you should actually do that, because there's a time where you wanna actually do that, but there's time and reason to do that. Anyway, so I used to grade my stuff just applying the same thing over and over. Maybe like on this video, you apply more of it, and on that video, you apply less of it, but I just did the same thing basically. And I had this big client. It was like fucking revolutionary. Big client, big opportunity for me to be recognized as a good colorist, man. And I blew it. I completely blew it. I got the reference of how they wanted it to look. And I'm gonna explain to you, this ties with the second point that I'm gonna make in this video, stick around. I got the reference. I tried to make it as close to the reference as I thought it could go, which was too much. I overkilled it. I basically went the same route I did for every other fucking grade, and I overkilled it because I didn't know what the fuck I was doing, because I was not taught grading properly. And I lost this big client, which cost me, I'm not kidding you, please believe me. Do believe me. This was back in start of 2023. It cost me a year and a half of progression. It would have advanced my career so much that you cannot believe it. Trust me. So when I tell you about these things, understand that they come from my pain points. I've lived through this shit. That's why I say I know the fuck I'm talking about, okay? The point is that pros have an eye. They have a vision. If you don't know what you want, you'll just stick to being a fucking preset pirate. You'll just keep copying YouTubers, and you just keep praying when you send something to a client. And that's not the way to go. That's not the way I want it to go, because that's not the way to grow. Now, this is the most important piece of advice that I know I can give to somebody trying to learn color grading. I know this channel is fairly new, but I know there's some people that are actively learning color grading, and they're still at a beginner stage. So listen closely. This is exactly for you watching right now. Okay, you're learning color grading. You're trying to learn these new techniques, but you've never actually worked maybe on professional footage. You don't know, like, why do movies look a certain way? Why does my stuff not look that way? Listen, color grading doesn't transform trash into gold. Listen again, color grading doesn't transform trash into gold. Look at it this way. And I'm telling you, nobody else is gonna tell you this, but this is the fucking truth. Grading multiplies good footage. If your original shot is great, then grading is gonna take it to the next level. That's why you gotta learn grading. But if your shot is trash, it's gonna still be shiny fucking trash. Do you understand that? So, listen closely. Let's go a step deeper. Okay, this is when things go fucking deep. Why is this dangerous? I mean, yeah, sure, I get you, Giuseppe. Like, okay, yeah, shiny trash. Okay, cool. No. You don't understand. Why is this dangerous? This is dangerous because when you get used to this mentality, and I need to keep myself from developing this from time to time when I work with different clients. When you get used to working on shit footage, on trash, if you shoot trash, or if you are a colorist that is working with clients that shoot trash, you'll get used to fixing trash in post. And that develops bad habits. I can't stress this enough. Trash becomes shiny trash if you add color grading to it. It doesn't become $1 million movie. It becomes slightly less worse trash. And nobody talks about this, because if they talk about this, then they're scared. They're not gonna sell to you their $300 course, man, and you might not buy, and I might not get the money this time. But I'm gonna tell you how it is. And you wanna know what's gonna happen if you don't listen to my words very carefully and you keep doing the shit you're doing? When you get to work on high level footage, when you get to work on that beautiful project that you're gonna shoot someday, when you get to work on that, you're gonna overgrade that just as you did with those badly shot clips. You're gonna overgrade, overcompensate, and lose the job. Now ask me how I know. Because I lost fucking clients for that reason. That's why. So here's a classic preset pirate move. My sky is blown out. I'll just crank the qualifiers, pull down the whole exposure, stack 4 nodes, maybe 5, and hope for the best. Color King? He plans the shot. He shoots properly, actually properly. And he uses grading to finesse, not just to rescue. Okay, sure, yeah, you can rescue bad shots. I graded a short film with a beautiful opening scene and the sky was a bit overblown. And that's when you need to overcompensate. Why am I telling you this? I'm telling you this because you're not at that level, bro. You're just not at that level. Stop trying to bullshit yourself. Humble yourself. You're not at that level, pal. Trust me. So there's times when you need to know how to overcompensate. The real ability is knowing when to do that and when not to do that. Because you gotta know your limits. Listen, if you're tired of the YouTube bullshit and going around in circles and not learning shit about color grading and want to hear it from somebody who's actually done it and still doing it to this day, this week, right now, subscribe, man. Do yourself a favor. If you kept watching the video and you got here, I can understand that you might not be a complete preset pirate just yet. And you may be interested in actually doing something with your time when you go to DaVinci on your color tab. I'm developing a paid program right now for videographers who want to actually learn how to color grade like a pro. No bullshit, no fluff, just like the stuff you see on this YouTube channel. If you think that I'm giving you free value inside of these free videos, just imagine what will be inside the paid program. I'm talking about practice footage, both amateur and pro high-end, shot on cinema cameras. So things that I have shot and things that I have graded for my clients. Because now I told you I'm a full-time colorist. I'm also talking about Q&As, live feedback, and most important of all, it's going to be affordable. Massive value. So stay tuned. I'll keep posting here with even more actionable tips. And if you're watching this in the future, just check the description because the link to the paid program might already be here. Now, subscribe so you don't miss it. And ask yourself, do you want to be a preset pirate or do you want to become a color king? God bless you.